This is the master session of Christian law and ethics. Law and ethics of Christian counseling. Okay, let's get it done. 1-450, maintaining privacy and preserving written records. Recording is important because that's for remembering how to help our counselees. At the same time, we need to secure those records for our safety and our counselees' safety. You provide counseling services to your counselees, and then you want to know the process, all the process, and you want to record all the changes. You want to record all the assignments and any changes, any good and bad reactions. So if you stop there, somebody can take over that client, and you can use that record for refer your clients to other counselors if they need to do it. And those things are so important, and nobody wants that, but any lawsuit can be happened against counselors and against counselees. Then, or the counselees can have a lawsuit against somebody else. Then they need that record for the court. And so there are many reasons you need to record right. But at the same time, you want to keep the records safe so you can use it for later on, just in case. So recording and preserving the records, quite important. Christian counselors will preserve, store, and transfer written records of client communications in a way that protects client confidentiality and privacy rights, and as may be required by state, federal law. This requires, at minimum, keeping records and files in locked storage with access given only to those persons with a direct professional interest in the materials and with proper consent and authorization, as well as by applicable state and or regulatory requirements. So, preserve, store, transfer, those things, okay? And that actually required, preserving the written records is required by the states and governments, federal. So because counseling is a business, it's a business. You take money, you provide a counseling service, and it's a business. All the business has to keep the records for the proving the income and expenses and all kinds of things. Tax reports, and as I told you, there are so many issues you can face if you don't want to do it, but it can be happened at any time without any warning or foretelling or something. So it can happen. This requires a minimum keeping records and files in locked storage, because they come and see where you're gonna store that at, and if that has locked cabinets locked doors, those kind of things will be considered, and they want to just check it out. With access given only to those persons with a direct professional interest in the materials, because somebody can misuse those kind of records. That is not acceptable, because it's filled with all kinds of personal, private records. You know, the news delivers lots of bad things. Big companies just mistreated recorded, information like social security, address, telephone numbers, birth of date of birth. Those things happening, and that's not acceptable actually, because those are pretty personal information. So please keep that in your mind that if you just violate those things, you got in trouble. Keeping records, files, professional interest. So lots of big companies find and get, according to the penal codes by government, state and or federal, they had to pay lots of money for their consumers and to the government because of the violations. So record is important. Or some companies actually selling people's information like name and address or telephone numbers. So they use those information for the telemarketing. So because you consent that you just open your official name and address and telephone number or email address, when you just write down all kinds of or register to any websites or applications or many things, and then they just utilize it, they just sell it. So that's why you are getting lots of junk emails, telemarketing phone calls, soliciting. That's crazy, because they are eager to contact you for selling their products or fraud. All right, so those written information can be stored in a locked cabinet and locked room and those things. So that's why applicable state and our regulatory requirements. So very confidential. Just keep it in your mind. And 1-460. Advocacy for privacy rights against intrusive powers. Christian counselors hear the most private and sensitive details of a client's life. So they are paying their money and time for the counseling because they can't find anybody else to tell everything they have in their mind and heart and soul. Even the close friends can be a huge betrayer, or betrayers are close friends, or families. I don't know, families. Yeah, like what Peter did against Jesus. He just denied 3 times in a night to a little girl, until a rooster cries in the morning. Okay? They can betray because they know something. If they don't know anything, they cannot betray you. And well, I just realized that, well, I knew it, but I didn't mind, but I do now. It's just that telling your personal things to your close friends, it's not safe. It's not safe. Well, when lots of affairs are happening between your wives or your husbands with your friends. Okay, that's what it is. Because when you meet often, you can just fall in. You can interested in somebody else you meet often. Okay, you stay close, and not only the affairs or cheatings, but many betrayals and misunderstandings can be happened by people who know you better, know you a lot. Okay, so people are paying lots of money and time for telling what they have in their mind and heart. Okay, so because they are paying you for the counselings, you gotta be careful to take care of those clients, and you wanna keep the confidentiality tight. So that's the basic, attitudes to respect your clients. Information that must be jealously guarded from public disclosure. So you wanna just keep that private things tight. Repeatedly expanding and interlocking electronic information networks increasingly threaten client privacy rights. Accordingly, counselors wisely protect and assertively advocate for privacy protection on behalf of their clients against the pervasive intrusion of personal, corporate, governmental, and even religious powers. Accordingly, counselors wisely protect how use the locked cabinets. So let only professionals, the limited professionals who can open the locked cabinets and take a look at the files as they need without disclosing those information to anybody else, especially to the public, right? And protect and assertively advocate for privacy protection on behalf of their clients. So you want to just protect those confidential information for your clients. Okay. Against the pervasive intrusion of the personal, corporate, governmental, and even religious powers. All people are actually eager to find any personal information to know better about the particular people for reasons, because they want to know who they are, and they want to know how they can treat those people, all kinds of things involved in there. Okay. All right. ES1-500, cultural regard in Christian counseling, or cult to dignity. Cultural, ethnic, and racial diversity are important factors for consideration in the delivery of counseling related services. Cultural, ethnic, and racial diversity are important factors. But it's not because we are living in the United States, okay? We have all kinds of people. There are more than 200 languages are spoken every day in LA. 200 different languages. Can you believe it? Can you imagine it? I can't. 200 different languages. How many languages do you speak? I speak English, Korean, just a little, other languages, like a babies, like a baby. So, but there are more than 200 different languages. You cannot name the languages even. Okay. I know the languages name Hillis, German, French, Spanish, English, Japanese, Chinese, what else? Filipino, Philippines, I don't know, Malaysians, you can name it. But there are almost, I don't know, 150, more than 150 countries in this world. But there are more than 200 languages are spoken in LA every day. It's a lot of languages. There are lots of people. All people are different. Skin colors, races, backgrounds, cultures, educations. Ethnic and racial diversity, we see each other every day. We cannot avoid it. Cannot avoid it. So if you want to just live with the same race, and then you can choose particular towns and villages, but cities, if you can't. I mean, still, it's you have to go markets, and lots of people are working, and it's very diverse. It's very diverse. I think if you are believing in God, I mean, God created the whole world, and God created and still creating whites, blacks, yellows, and all kinds of people. So if you discriminate or hate other races, skin colors, cultures, then actually that is saying to that you hate God's work, God's activities. So basically, Christians cannot be a discriminator or racist at all. So you have heard about the white supremacy or something, or any other, the blacks, they can have their own groups for against the whites or something. Those are all ridiculous. Those are all against the God. So when you say you are Christians, but you discriminate people, actually you are not real Christians, and God doesn't like you at all. Because you hate God's activities, God's ministries. Okay. So Jesus was sent for saving all people, not only Israelites or Jews, okay, or whites. So Jews are not whites. I mean, Jews are not. Are they whites? I don't know. Looks like whites, but they are Asians, right? They're not Europeans or Americans, but they are Asian, location-wise. They don't care at all. I don't care. I don't care too. God creates all people equally. You know, some people are just playing with the Bible, saying, "Hey, yeah, that's bullshit." With, you know, the skin colors, they just play with that. Okay, if that is Hammy, let's say Hammy is blacks. So what's the matter with that? The curse is just still working on it. What about born again Christians? What about born again Christian homes? So just think about it, and the diversity and variety is quite important to the Lord. And as long as we are believing in God, we cannot be discriminators or cannot be white supremacists. What's superior? I don't know. It's crazy. Yesterday or the day before yesterday, a white guy killed 3 African Americans in Florida, I think, and killed himself. And the police found the Nazi logo. I don't know the name, something. Looks like Buddhist symbol. That's on his car, on his gun. And what is that? What's that? People are shooting, killing each other. That's what's happening in this country. Okay. Cultural competency signifies a minimal level of knowledge and awareness that represents such things as the values, norms, and traditions of another that influence perception, thoughts, attitudes, beliefs, identity, communication, relational dynamics, behaviors, life experiences, customs, spirituality, and understanding of the cause, symptomology, and remedy of human problems. Okay. So cultural competences, it shows many things. Somebody just called about the cultural crash. The cultures are crashing each other. Well, people are crashing each other, countries are crashing each other, and cultures are crashing each other. Well, you can say that if you want. But we can call that countries, the harmony of countries, harmony of cultures, harmony of people, harmony of values. You can say those kind of things at the same time. If you want to just see things as conflicts, then those are conflicts. If you think that is just working together or living together and harmonizing together, and that is the other way we can put that. Okay. But the cultural crash, we are having a war. Yeah, we are having wars. United States is having wars with other countries, and those things are happening actually. So you can see many things are happening in this world, and but the cultural competencies are that's for, and it shows those kind of, differences. But there are differences, but there are wrongs or right. No, there are no wrongs or rights, but differences. Okay. Well, we can be uncomfortable because of the differences, but we cannot judge them. We cannot judge others with our standards, because we are having all different kinds of measuring tapes, standards, okay, centimeters are different with inches. Majority of countries are using centimeters, but England and United States and just a few other countries are using inches, miles instead of kilometers. We have all different kinds. So we are, United States is using inches and miles. So we are crashing with Germany, because Germany is using kilometers and centimeters. We are crashing with Germany. But even though we have a military, huge military base in Germany, but we are crashing with Germany. No one is saying America is crashing with Germany. And we are working together. We are living together for good, right? But then why people are saying there are cultural clashes or something? If you wanna crash, the two different cultures can crash each other because of you. If you don't think it's crash, but differences and harmonizing, working together, living together, there's no problem at all. But we just respect other cultures. Okay? If you are believing in God and you respect what God's activities and ministries, and then you cannot avoid not to respect other races, people, countries, religions, thoughts, okay, kind of things. So just to think about it, right? Good morning, Hominori.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Alright. So, what do you think? How many years have you lived in Japan? How many years have you lived in Japan?
long time.
30 years? When did you came?
About 17, 18. 17.
You left to Japan 17 years ago? So you lived in Japan 30 years?
30.
Yeah, 30 years.
30 years. 30.
30.
Deep.
No. You stayed in
Stay. Yeah. About 30.
You stayed in Japan for 30 years and you came to the States. It's been 17 years. Right? Okay. So what's the difference between Japan and America? What do you think the biggest difference is between Japan and America? The cultural difference.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
USA is freedom.
Okay.
Japan,
Japan has no freedom.
I think not freedom.
So Japanese are slavers.
Japan,
Japanese are in prisons. What does that mean? Japan is a free country and people are free in Japan.
free.
Yeah, Japanese are free in Japan, right? But you don't think Japanese have freedom as much as American has? American have?
I think not free. In Japan, I think I don't like so much.
You don't like Japan much because you think Japan there's not good enough, freedom in Japan. What freedom you have in the United States?
Freedom.
Yeah. What kind of freedom you have in the United States?
どう表現したらいいんだろう。somehow なんかフリーダム。I feel than Japan. Yeah, Japan. I think not freedom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so there are some differences between cultures and do you think Japanese culture do you think Japanese culture is wrong? So do you think Japanese culture is wrong?
Culture.
Yeah.
For example.
So you said Japan has less freedom than America.
Freedom.
That's just freedom.
Lots of freedom.
Yeah. So we are talking about the differences between the countries and cultures, and I just asked him, about the differences between the Japan and America, and he said Japan has less freedom than America. So I'm just keep on asking, what freedom he has more in the United States. But anyway, so what about Anatha? Do you think you have more freedom in the United States than in your country?
No, it's the
The
same.
same thing, or
The same.
it's the same, right?
The same.
Okay.
Here.
What's the biggest difference
Yeah,
between
here.
your country and America?
I think that here we'll be even more careful because it can be very easy to sue.
But
Because someone can sue you about
people sue easily
anything. And
each other.
yeah, you must be very careful what you say.
Oh yeah,
People are less.
yeah.
Right now there's a lot of freedom there. But here's probably more money, huh? Still.
Well,
People still have better situations.
people have more money in the United States.
Right now I don't know because it's,
But
situation right now.
people like
Still
suing
more,
each
but-
other.
Right now it's
Yeah.
tough.
And there are lots of lawyers in the United States, and it's easy to be lawyers in the United States. So,
Is
They
it
are-
to be lawyer? Yeah.
yeah,
But you need to study long time.
no,
It's not. How long is this?
you just go to law school and that's
I
it,
know,
right?
but
And
it's not.
just pass the,
How many years? It's not like doctor.
No, they're not doctors.
I know, but how many years?
I think there's a master level. Yeah. You just pass the the exam and that's it.
In Poland is
It
very
is quite. It is way easier to become a lawyer than Korea.
yeah, in Poland is very
Romance.
difficult to be
As
lawyer.
Poland,
Very difficult.
very
The
difficult.
same the counselor, the psychologist.
Yeah.
In Poland very difficult.
No, it is easy.
Here is
you know.
easy.
Yeah, it's easy here. It's easy here, and lots of lawyers are just closing their offices because they cannot make good enough money, like 3,000 a month or something. So they are closing their offices a lot, and
They closed? Huh?
yeah, because they don't get enough money, the lawyers. So well, there are good, huge law firms, the companies. They hire smart lawyers, but there are a bunch of other all kinds of lawyers in the United States, and they are very competitive. So they are eager to advertise their offices to the public, and when they see something, and they want to just push people to sue others.
I know it's bad.
So that can be one of the reasons too. Well, it is good for just fighting for people's rights, and which is good. But anyways, there are lots of lawyers, and it is quite easy to become lawyers in the United States. It's not that hard. Well, some lawyers can blame me, but actually that's what it is. It's way easier to. Well, in Korea, actually, in the past, become a lawyer is way harder than to be a medical doctor. But in the United States,
Yeah,
it's way easier than to be a medical doctor.
But here is medical doctor difficult.
Yeah. So anyways,
Because they need studying many years.
Yeah.
Dentist the same.
so anyways, that's what I was told. I mean, once something happened to a person, so lots of lawyers just push the person to sue each other or sue the companies, and once they have a case, they can take money from their clients. This is good.
Even on the
Car accidents,
Yeah,
lawyers
this
can be
one-
involved.
this one you need to be careful because sometimes
Yeah. So you need to be smart. So if you want to make money in the United States, you want to have a good lawyer and a good CPA. The money guy, CPA. You know what the CPA
what
is?
is
Certified public. I don't know. Accountant.
this one.
Accountant. Yeah. Well, anyways, there are lots of cultural differences between, countries and. Anyways, so whether what I told you is that I don't know. Do you believe in any God?
In what?
Do you believe any God?
In God?
God,
In God.
God
Yeah.
or Buddha or something.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
believe in God?
Yeah, because I'm Christian.
Well, you are Christian and
You
or
not?
Buddhist or something. I am. Am I? I'm Christian. I'm Christian too. So what I'm believing is that can a Christian be a racist?
I'm supposed
supposed to know because
Nobody.
what?
Nobody should be racist.
Nobody should be racist because why?
Because why we should be racist? All are people.
Folks,
We are all.
folks are just playing
No,
around.
because I see the spider.
Yeah, yeah,
This year is a lot of spiders
Yeah.
everywhere.
yeah. There's
Because
some
we are all
bugs.
people, so we can't be racist. Why we should be racist?
Okay. This is what I can say. We are believing God created all things, everything, right? God is the creator. Yeah. God created whites, yellows, blacks, I don't know, browns, blues, reds, reds, or something, okay? So, for example,
We
whites,
talk about the
what? Yeah.
aliens.
Or God creates greens. Alright. For example, white supremacy, they hate blacks. They look down yellows and greens or something. Then this guy, let's say this guy, a white guy just killed 3 African Americans in Florida last night. He killed himself. Anyway, so when you hate somebody or when you discriminate somebody, well, a black guy can hate white and look down yellow or something, or Chinese or Korean or Japanese. Then you hate God's work. Okay? God's work. You hate God's children. You think this is the mistake, which means this is wrong, which means God did wrong jobs, God did horrible jobs. So you are not only judging those people, but God. So this person is not supposed to be a Christian. We are believing we are children of God. We are not supposed to discriminate or hate other races or countries or cultures because God is the creator, right? Well, there are some particular people can go crazy, Some particular people go crazy. They're almost always crazy people in any groups. Crazy people in Poland, crazy people in Japan, China, Korea, America. Especially we have bunch of idiots and crazy people in the United States too. Right? We have to be careful. Anyways, because I can say that because I'm living in the United States and I'm an American, But I'm not talking about those individuals, particular people, but the groups. We are not supposed to hate or discriminate others because we are believing in God and we believe God creates all. God creates all. So those are not mistakes. And those are God's children, so we cannot be discriminators or racist. That's what I think. Okay? But lots of Christians, even though they say they are Christians, they believe in God, but they discriminate others. they are racist. It doesn't make sense at all. They don't know what the Christian is like. They don't understand who God is, what God is doing, and it's kind of ridiculous. So there are wrong theories, wrong theologies, wrong beliefs. One dash 510 affirming the worth and value of others. Christian counselors recognize and acknowledge that all people have been created in the image of the Holy God, and therefore all clients have an innate right to be valued and respected, to receive ethical care, and to be treated with the utmost dignity. Okay, so Christian, as I mentioned, Christian counselors, we are believing God created all. So we respect everybody. We respect our clients. Which means we respect all people. So we respect our clients. Yeah. 1-520 cultural competency. Christian counselors earnestly strive to develop and maintain culturally competent awareness and practices such as, but not limited to, awareness of one's personal worldview and its impact on the counseling process. Okay. Cultural competency. Awareness of one's personal worldview and its impact on the counseling process. Why we need to know that? Because if we don't understand that, we cannot understand what our clients are talking about. Because they have their own experiences, they have their own cultural backgrounds. So if we don't know what kind of cultural backgrounds and things they have, then we cannot understand their experiences, their stories. Okay. Some people can be upset with one thing, but the others can, doesn't matter all that. They don't care. It doesn't matter to them. Right? Number 2, knowledge of various cultural practices and worldviews, including those that may conflict with a Judeo-Christian worldview. Knowledge of various cultural practices and worldviews, okay? Right? So, let's say you are a Korean, let's say you just born in the United States, but you're gonna have Korean American counseling. What Korean American counsel is? Then what? Okay. Then what? Okay. So there can be some cultural differences. If you don't have any information about the Korean Americans, Korean Americans have different cultures, cultures with Korean people, right? So Korean American, Korean Germany, Korean German, Korean Philippines, they have all different kinds of cultures. Well, I don't say that you have to know all cultures, but you have to know your particular client's cultural backgrounds, At least you want to just understand them as much as you want, or research it. Just 30 minutes or 1 hour at least. Then, or you have open minded to to listen to your clients. Then your counseling services can be quite different. Okay. I think we want to just take a 10-minute break. Okay?
Yes.
Take a break.
Take a break.
Yeah, continue.
Close was one Albert, so maybe there's Korean right now. I don't have to check.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a good one.
And you can buy some good stuff in H Mart or Giant Market. I used to go Arirang Market though. Arirang is another name. H Mart is doing a good job. Okay, we will continue and finish this as soon as possible, and this is the last session. 1-530, working with persons of different faith, religions, and values. Counselors work to understand the client's belief system, always maintain respect for the client, and strive to understand when faith and value issues are important to the client and foster values-informed client decision-making in counseling. We want to understand our clients' backgrounds, what kind of religions they have, what kind of cultural backgrounds they have, what kind of values they have, so we can understand our clients' stories better. Because our clients' stories and feelings coming from their religious backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, and their values. Okay. Counselors share their own faith orientation only as a function of legitimate self-disclosure and when appropriate to client need. Always maintaining a posture of humility. So people are arrogant when they know only one thing. If you read only a book in your life, no other books ever, and you can go arrogant. Okay? Because you only know a book. Because you don't know there are more books than a book you read. And then the book you read, the only book can form your thoughts and mind and values. And that's the only standard you can, and that's the only window you can see this world. So you can go arrogant. If you want to learn people, you want to just travel other countries and meet other people and talk with those people so you can understand others. And you can understand that there are different cultures and countries and peoples and religions. Then you can be humbled. Okay. But I'm not saying that you have to travel all the world before you become Christian counselors, but you can at least read some books and you can try to understand, other people, then I think that will be good enough. Counselors share their own faith orientation only as a function of legitimate self-cause. So, people usually know that they research, before they see their counselors or before they go their, counseling centers. So they check and they want to just double check if that counseling center or counseling offices can be helpful for them. They can understand them. So they usually research their counselors and counseling centers. But at the same time, the counselors want to understand and research their clients before they see their clients. For the better understandings. Christian counselors do not withhold services to anyone of different race, ethnic group, faith, religion, denomination, or value system. Well, I'm a Korean American, but you are Japanese American. I don't like Japan. I'm not gonna give you counseling service. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. I'm not saying I don't like Japan. Japanese people. I like Japanese people. I have some Japanese friends. Seiko, Noriko, Yukiko, yeah. Noriko. I have some female Japanese friends than men, and Fuminori must be the only male I know. Cause I met those people in Canada, Toronto, when I was there with my wife. And they visited me. Yukiko visited me, Yukie visited me, Seiko. Actually, her original name is Saiko. Saiko or Saikoto. Saikoto. It's a woman's name, right?
name.
Saiko. Is it Saiko or Saikoto?
Saiko.
Saiko means colorful kid. Right? Which means colorful kid. I don't remember the. Is it Saiko? But Saiko can be, the same pronunciation with Saiko. So she didn't like to be called as Saiko. So she asked me to call her Seiko. Watch company. Seiko. So I just called her Seiko, but her original name is Saiko. We don't like each other. We like each other, between America, Poland, Japan, things. Nowadays, Poland is very close to United States because, America is supporting Ukraine via Poland. And those things are happening. And Christian counselors, we don't discriminate others. So you're Polish. I don't provide any counseling service to Polish or something. No, we cannot do that. No discriminations. Okay. No denominations. I'm a Christian. You're a Buddhist. I don't have this. You cannot do that. Okay. So basically, Christian counselors don't discriminate, any people. So we just try try our best to help others. Right? 1-530A, not imposing values. While Christian counselors may expose clients and or the community at large to their faith orientation, and they do not impose their religious beliefs or practices on clients. 1-540, cultural sensitivity. Christian counselors proactively communicate with clients in a culturally sensitive manner, especially when obtaining consent, defining the scope of care, during assessment and evaluation procedures, including instruments that are selected, and addressing any developmental and or linguistic issues that may be present. Okay. Cultural sensitivity. So we just try to understand our clients. So when they have, for example, Buddhist, if they are Buddhist, we want to just respect the Buddhist culture and religion and the way of their living and thinking and practicing their beliefs. We have cultural, we respect others' cultures. And 1-550, action if valued differences interfere with counseling. Christian counselors work to resolve problems always in the client's best interest. Yes, when differences between counselor and client values become too great and adversely affect the counseling process, refer those people to others, okay? That's the answer. But include 1, a discussion of the issues as a therapeutic matter, okay? Number 2, renegotiation of the counseling agreement. 3, consultation with a supervisor or trusted colleague or a last resort. 4, referral to another counselor if the differences cannot be reduced or bridged, and then only in compliance with applicable state and federal law and or regulatory requirements. Okay, there are many options we can have. ES 1-600, case management and Christian counseling or call to soundness. Comprehensive and thorough case management always considers the whole person, biologically, psychologically, emotionally, cognitively, okay, socially, culturally, relationally, and spiritually. It requires a thoughtful and systematic coordinates of needed services that in the best interest of the client, including assessment, diagnosis, treatment planning, care implementation, ongoing therapeutic review, and discharge and aftercare coordination. Soundness for Christian counselors implies the use of empirically validated and evidence-based treatments that also integrate biblical principles. Alright, treatment planning. Christian counselors actively involve clients in the treatment planning process, and in doing so, identify potential supporting systems and resources that may be engaged and which are sensitive to socio-cultural dynamics. Okay, this is the last thing we want to just take a look. 1-610-A, treatment plan considerations and principles. Treatment plans are developed to utilize the following principles based on the client's presenting problems. Number 2, promote a sense of client ownership. Okay. Client ownership, what does client ownership means? Client ownership. Okay. I'm a counselor, you are a client. Who is more important in a counseling center? Client. Counselor is supposed to respect client and try the best, our best to understand the client. With respect to how our clients feeling, expressing, okay, thinking, right? So I cannot say, come, go, practice. Don't do that. I'm right. Just follow my direction. I'm not supposed to do that. Okay. 3. Incorporate the results of any assessment and diagnostic work. Number 4. Based on client's strengths. What does that mean? There are clients that have strengths and weaknesses or scratches. So we want to just focus on clients' strengths so the clients can solve their problems with their strengths. Not disappointed with their weaknesses, but they can solve their problems with their strengths. Okay. Identify clear treatment goals and parameters with specific objectives. 6. Ensure that whenever possible, treatment goals and the objectives are attainable, behavioral and measurable. We want to see the progress. We want to see the progress. It can be started low, and it's going to go up slowly and swiftly, and that problem can be resolved. Takes time, but eventually we can make it. That's what we are hoping. 7. Sensitive to social cultural factors and seek to treat clients within the confines of his or her worldview. And 8. Provide ongoing case review and adjustment as needed. So we want to just continue to those things so we can see what's going on and we can measure and we can see the progress. So we want to just make sure we are helping our clients and our counseling services can be helpful to our clients. That's the treatment plan considerations and principles. Do you have any comments or questions? This is the last session. You don't come here next week. Okay.
It's break, yeah?
If you want, you can come, but I'm not gonna come here.
Are you teaching next
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So how many years we have to take the classes here? Is this the last session? I mean,
No,
last
no.
semester?
No.
You know, continue work? Okay. No comments? No questions? No? Alright. Thank you for taking this class and hope it can be helpful for you. Hopefully I can see you next time. Enjoy your break.
Okay, have good break.
Right? Yeah.
If you won't come, maybe
Yeah, 1 month's break?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about 3
You're gonna take
weeks.
1 month's break, I think. Right. Alright, thank you. Thank you, Arata.
Okay,
Yeah,
see you.
Alright.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I like Korean barbecue.
Korean barbecue.
Oh, all you can eat. Oh my gosh.
All you can eat? Do you still go all you can eat? Wow.
No, I don't. I
And
can't.
sometimes I used to go all you can eat a lot. But now
No,
my stomach is shrinking.
no, because it's staying.